Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive on financial latency.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. And we'll be looking at an article called How to Create Financial Latency, a guide to building wealth over time.
Okay.
Basically, it's all about playing the long game with your money.
I like it.
You know, like planting a tree that grows into something big and strong over time.
Right. It's not about those get-rich-quick schemes we see all the time.
Exactly. It's more strategic, like something anyone can use to build wealth.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what makes financial latency so special?
What really flips the script on how we usually think about money.
How so?
Well, we usually want everything right now.
Oh, yeah, instant gratification.
Right. But with financial latency, it's all about being patient and putting in the work consistently.
Like waiting for that tree to grow and give you shade.
Exactly. And this article doesn't just tell us why it's important, but also how to actually do it.
Oh, cool. So what's step one?
Well, the article says it starts with setting clear goals.
Okay, goals make sense. Yeah, both for the short term and the long term.
Like little goals and big goals.
Yeah. I think it's even about figuring out what you really want to do with your money. What's important to you?
That's a good point. Like, do you want to retire early? Buy a house fund, a project?
Exactly. So it's not just about picking random numbers.
It's more personal.
Yeah, it's about what financial success really means for you.
I like that. And then you break those big goals down into smaller steps.
Right, like those measurable milestones the article talks about.
Like what?
Like saving a certain amount each month or maxing out your retirement contributions.
Oh, yeah, so you can see yourself moving forward.
Exactly. Those milestones become like stepping stones.
Makes sense. But it's so easy to get distracted these days. You know, instant gratification is everywhere.
Oh, totally. So how do we balance that desire for instant stuff with our long-term goals?
That's the challenge, right?
Sure.
Well, the article talks about compounding.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. But it always seemed kind of magical to me.
Yeah, how does money make more money? It sounds crazy.
Right.
Okay, so imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small,
Right.
but as it rolls, it picks up more and more snow.
Okay.
Compounding is similar. Your initial investment earns interest, and then that interest earns more interest, and it just keeps growing.
Wow. Okay, I'm starting to get it.
So the earlier you start, the more time that snowball has to grow bigger and bigger.
That's pretty cool. So let's say I'm ready to start investing. Where do I even begin?
Good question. It can be overwhelming.
Totally. The article talks about diversifying your portfolio.
Right. Diversification is key.
But there are so many options out there.
It's true. But the main idea is to spread your investments across different things, like stocks, bonds, real estate.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. That way, if one investment does poorly,
the others can help balance things out.
Right. But some investments are riskier than others.
Yeah, like individual stocks.
Yeah, those can be risky. That's why the article mentions index funds and ETFs.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
They're like baskets of stocks that are already diversified.
So it's less risky.
Especially for long-term investors.
And they usually have lower fees too, right?
Exactly. So they're a good option if you're just starting out.
And you don't have to spend all your time watching the market.
Yeah, it's more hands-off.
Yeah.
But I bet it's still tempting to try and time the market.
Oh, yeah. Buy low, sell high. Everyone wants to do that.
Right. It sounds so easy, but it's really hard to do consistently.
Even for the experts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The article recommends a different approach.
What's that?
It's about staying invested for the long haul.
So write out the ups and downs.
Yeah, be patient, not panicky.
So it's more about trusting the process than trying to outsmart the market.
Right. It's about having the right mindset.
I'm starting to see that this financial latency thing is about changing how we think about money.
Absolutely. It's not just about specific tactics.
It's about delaying gratification and prioritizing long-term growth.
Exactly. And that mindset shift applies to spending too.
Oh, yeah. It's so easy to buy things we don't really need.
Especially with online shopping. It's just a click away.
I've definitely been there.
Me too. So how do we resist those urges and actually save money?
That's the million-dollar question.
Well, the article suggests treating your savings like a bill.
Like a recurring bill.
Yeah, like your rent or utilities.
So set up automatic transfers.
Exactly. That way you're saving money before you even have a chance to spend it.
That's smart. I like that. But what about big purchases? Like a car or a home renovation?
Those are tricky.
Yeah, they can really mess up your budget.
Well, the article says to think about those purchases from a long-term perspective.
So plan ahead.
Right. Don't rush into it. Do your research, compare prices, make sure it fits into your overall financial plan.
So be intentional even with big purchases.
Exactly. Make sure they align with your long-term goals.
This is really making me rethink my whole relationship with money.
That's great to hear. It's about making conscious choices.
Yeah, and thinking about the bigger picture.
Right. And as we keep talking about financial latency, we'll uncover even more strategies to build wealth and create a secure future.
This is already super insightful. But before we move on, I have to ask about passive income streams.
Oh yeah, making money while you sleep.
It sounds too good to be true.
I know, right? Is it really possible? Or is it just a myth?
Tell me the truth.
It's definitely not a myth. It's not about getting rich quickly, though.
Okay, that's fair.
It's about setting up systems that generate income even when you're not actively working.
So it takes effort up front.
Yeah, but the rewards can be pretty amazing over time.
So like planting a money tree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You put in the work, and then it keeps producing.
I love that analogy. So what are some examples of passive income?
Well, one popular option is investing in dividend stocks.
Dividend stocks, what are those?
Basically, you become a part owner of a company,
Okay.
and you get a share of their profits as regular payments.
Wait, so I get paid just for owning the stock?
Yeah, it's like a little bonus.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But how do I pick the right stocks?
That's where research comes in. You want to find companies with a good track record.
So companies that are doing well...
Yeah, and companies that have a history of paying consistent dividends.
Makes sense. And of course, diversification is still important.
Absolutely. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, even with dividend stocks.
Got it. So research, diversification, and patience are key.
You got it. But what if you're not comfortable picking individual stocks?
Yeah, that can be scary.
There are other ways to create passive income.
Oh, like what?
The article also talks about creating and selling digital products.
Like what kind of digital products?
Things like ebooks, online courses, templates, designs.
So use your skills to create something valuable.
Exactly. And then people can buy it over and over again.
So you put in the work once and then it keeps making money.
That's the idea. And it's not just limited to digital products.
Really? What else is there?
Think about things like writing, photography, crafting.
Oh yeah, people love handmade stuff.
Exactly. There's a big market for it online.
Wow, so many options. But let's be real, building those passive income streams takes work.
It does. It takes effort and dedication.
You know such thing as a free lunch?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the key is to choose something you're passionate about.
Something you enjoy doing.
Yeah, that way it feels less like work and more like a fulfilling side project.
A side hustle that actually makes money.
Exactly. It's about turning your passion into a source of income.
This is so inspiring. I'm seeing how financial latency is about so much more than just numbers.
It's about creating a life you love.
Exactly. It's about freedom and abundance.
And we've only just begun to explore it.
I can't wait to dive deeper, but before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Sure.
So let's say I've set my goals. I'm starting to invest. And I'm even thinking about passive income.
Okay. Sounds good.
How do I know if I'm on the right track?
Ah, good question. It's like we've set sail.
Yeah.
But how do we know if we're heading in the right direction?
Are there any financial compasses or maps we can use?
That is a crucial point. We
Yeah.
need tools to measure our progress.
So we need to be good financial navigators.
Exactly. We need tools to monitor our progress and make changes if we need to. It's like navigating a ship.
Okay.
You got to check those instruments, adjust the sails, and watch out for the wind and currents.
So we're like financial navigators.
That's a great way to put it.
What kind of tools can help us with that?
Well, one of the most important is doing regular financial checkups.
Like going to the doctor.
Exactly. You're checking on your financial health, seeing what needs attention, and tweaking your plan as you go.
So it's not a one-time thing.
Nope. It's an ongoing process.
So what exactly does a financial checkup look like?
It definitely involves looking at your numbers.
Like bank statements and investment accounts?
Right. You want to keep track of your income expenses, assets, and debts.
Got it. So it's not just about the numbers then?
Right. It's also about revisiting those financial goals we talked about.
Oh yeah, those big dreams.
Are those goals still relevant to your life?
Or do we need to adjust them?
Exactly. Life changes. And your financial goals might need to change too.
So it's a dynamic process.
For sure. It's always evolving.
How often should we do these checkups?
It depends. Some people like to do a quick review every month.
Okay.
Others prefer a deeper dive every quarter or even once a year.
So find what works for you.
Exactly. The key is to find a rhythm and stick to it.
Consistency is key. I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Right. So let's say you're doing these checkups
Okay.
and you realize you're not making as much progress as you'd like.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Not ideal. What might be holding you back?
What are some common roadblocks?
Well, often it's our own mindset that gets in the way.
Our mindset.
Yeah, we have these limiting beliefs about money.
Like what?
Things like, I'm not good with finances, or I'll never be able to save enough.
Oh, gosh, I've definitely had those thoughts.
They're super common.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to get discouraged, compare ourselves to others.
Yeah, especially on social media. Everyone seems so rich and successful.
Right. So how do we overcome those negative thoughts?
Yeah, how do we feel more empowered about money?
It starts with awareness.
Aware.
Notice those negative thoughts and challenge them.
Don't just let them take over.
Exactly. And instead of focusing on what you don't have,
Focus on what you can control.
yes, your actions, your choices,
Yeah.
your habits.
So shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
That's it. Believe that there's enough for everyone.
And that we can create the financial future we want.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to celebrate those small wins along the way.
Oh, yeah, those little victories.
Did you save an extra $100 this month?
That's awesome.
Did you negotiate a lower interest rate on your credit card?
Go be.
Those small wins keep you motivated.
Like those little dopamine hits.
Exactly. They build momentum towards your bigger goals.
It's like a positive feedback loop.
But even with the right mindset and tools,
Yeah.
life throws curveballs.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. Emergencies happen, unexpected expenses pop up.
It's inevitable. So how do you handle those bumps in the road without totally derailing your financial progress?
Yeah, that's the challenge.
That's where flexibility and adaptability come in.
Yeah. We got to roll with the punches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need a plan, but you also need to be willing to adjust that plan when life happens.
So don't be afraid to change course.
Exactly. Financial latency is a marathon, not a sprint.
There will be times when you need to slow down or even take a break.
And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it.
It's all part of the journey.
Right. It's about learning and growing.
And building resilience.
That's the key. That ability to bounce back from challenges and keep moving forward.
Okay, so we're becoming financial ninjas.
Love it.
We've got the mindset, the tools, and the resilience.
Now we just need some resources.
Oh, yeah. Are there any books, podcasts, or websites you recommend?
For sure. There's so much information out there.
And it's always changing.
It is. One of my favorite books for beginners is The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins.
I've heard good things about that one.
It breaks down complex stuff in a simple way.
Easy to understand.
And it focuses on index fund investing.
Okay, cool. What about resources specifically for financial latency?
That's a good question. It's still a pretty new term.
So not a lot of experts out there yet.
Right. But many of the principles are similar to things like slow investing, mindful spending, and building wealth over the long term.
So we can learn from those areas too.
Absolutely. Connect the dots,
Yeah.
draw inspiration from different sources, and create your own approach to financial latency.
It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. And don't forget the power of community.
Oh, yeah. Surround yourself with people who get it.
People who are also on this journey.
Share ideas, support each other, celebrate those wins.
It's like having a financial cheer squad.
I love that. But what if we get stuck or feel overwhelmed?
That's when professional help can be really valuable.
Like financial advisors.
Exactly. They can give you personalized advice
Help create a plan.
and offer objective insights.
Like a financial coach.
Precisely. But what if you're not ready for a full-blown financial advisor?
Yeah, that can be a big step.
There are more accessible options too.
Like robo-advisors.
Robo-advisors? Yeah. They're online platforms that manage your investments for you.
Based on your risk tolerance and goals.
Exactly. They're a good option if you're just starting out.
Or if you want a hands-off approach.
Right? It's like having a financial co-pilot.
I like that. So we've got all these resources.
So much information.
How do we make sure we're not falling for those financial fads?
Oh, that's so important.
Yeah, all those get-rich-quick schemes.
You got to develop your critical thinking
Right.
skills.
Don't believe everything you hear.
Exactly. Question those assumptions. Evaluate the evidence. Make informed decisions that align with your long-term goals.
So be a discerning consumer of financial information.
Yes. And remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly. It's about finding what resonates with you.
Your values, your circumstances.
Right. It's about creating your own personalized financial playbook,
Drawing inspiration from different sources.
but ultimately making choices that feel right for you.
So it's a journey of self-discovery.
In a way, it is. as you continue on this path.
This path toward financial latency.
Remember, it's not just about the money.
It's about creating a life of abundance, freedom, and purpose.
That's what it's all about.
It's about using your resources to support your dreams.
Pursue your passions.
And make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. And in the next part of our deep dive,
we're going even deeper.
We'll explore some practical ways to turn those dreams into reality.
And create a life that is both financially secure and deeply fulfilling.
It's going to be good.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have.
Mindset goals, passive income.
The whole shebang.
But now I'm ready to get practical. What can we actually do right now to start putting this all into action?
That's what I like to hear. It's time to make it real.
So how do we go from theory to practice?
Remember those measurable milestones we talked about?
Yeah, those specific actionable goals.
That's where we start. We got to break those big dreams down into smaller steps.
Okay, makes sense. But how do we make sure we actually follow through?
It's one thing to write down goals, but how do we turn them into progress? The article suggests using visualization.
Visualization.
Yeah, imagine yourself actually achieving those goals.
Close your eyes and see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Feel that sense of accomplishment.
That feeling of financial security.
That freedom.
So it's like creating a mental movie of our success.
Exactly. It makes those goals feel more real, more attainable.
Interesting. So we're kind of programming our minds for success.
You got it. But even with visualization, it can be hard to know where to start.
Yeah, sometimes it feels overwhelming.
One of the most basic but important steps is to track your spending.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that before. But it sounds kind of boring.
I know it's not the most exciting thing.
Yeah.
But you can't manage what you don't measure.
So do I have to log every little purchase?
Not necessarily. You don't need to track every penny.
Phew.
The goal is to get a big picture view of where your money is going.
Okay, that makes sense.
And there are apps that can help with that.
Oh, cool. Technology to the rescue.
Exactly. They can automate the process and make it super easy.
Okay, so I've tracked my spending and I've found some areas where I can cut back.
Awesome. Now what?
What do I do with that extra money?
Now we automate our savings.
Automate?
Yes, set up automatic transfers to your savings and investment accounts.
So it's like paying yourself first.
Exactly. Before you even have a chance to spend it.
I like that. It takes the temptation away.
But what about unexpected expenses?
Yeah. Those always seem to pop up.
That's where your emergency fund comes in.
Oh, right, that financial safety net.
It lets you handle those surprises without messing up your progress.
So how much should we have in our emergency fund?
The general rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses.
So enough to cover the essentials.
Exactly. It gives you peace of mind knowing you're prepared.
Okay, emergency fund check. Now let's talk investing.
Okay, let's do it.
That can feel really scary, especially for beginners.
I know what you mean. It's a whole new world.
Well, where do we even start?
Remember those index funds and ETFs we talked about?
Yeah, those prepackaged baskets of stocks.
They're a great way to start building a diversified portfolio.
So it's like a one-stop shop for diversification.
Exactly. And what if you want to explore other investments?
Yeah, I'm feeling adventurous.
Do your research. There are tons of resources out there.
Books, articles, podcasts.
You name it. And don't be afraid to talk to a financial advisor.
They can help guide us.
They can help you create a portfolio that fits your risk tolerance and goals.
So like a financial Sherpa.
I like that analogy. They can help you climb those investment mountains.
Okay, so we've got our diversified portfolio all set up.
Looking good.
But it's not just a set it and forget it thing, right?
Nope. You got to stay engaged.
So check in regularly and make adjustments as needed.
Exactly. The market is always changing. So your strategy needs to adapt.
It's like tending a garden.
Perfect analogy. You need to nurture those investments.
Prune away the underperforming ones.
And make sure they're getting what they need to grow.
Okay, I'm digging this analogy.
And just like gardening takes patience, so does building financial latency.
It's a long-term game.
It is.
Yeah.
You got to trust the process, stay consistent, and don't panic when the market dips.
It's about those small, consistent actions adding up over time.
You got it. And don't forget to celebrate your progress.
Oh, yeah. Celebrate those wins.
Acknowledge your efforts. Reward yourself.
It's like giving ourselves a pat on the back.
Exactly. We deserve it.
And remember, financial latency is not just about the money.
It's about the life we're creating.
It's about freedom, abundance, purpose.
It's about using our resources to support our dreams.
Pursue our passions.
And make a positive impact on the world.
So it's about aligning our financial goals with our values.
Absolutely. And creating a life that feels both secure and fulfilling.
Wow, this has been an incredible journey.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So much to think about.
And so much to put into action.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into financial latency.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've learned some valuable lessons and feel inspired to start building your own financial fortress.
Brick by brick.
Until next time, keep investing in yourself and your dreams.